Hey guys, I'm back and I'm gonna make this video to explain about um, how to trying to reunite Korea so that it's whole again instead of being broken in half as North and South Korea, what the world is currently seeing Korea as. And the people that are like largely in relation with the separation of Korea from the North and South, they need to be responsible and caring and compassionate and empathetic, especially since October 13th, 2016 ADC, when we should have been extinct, as I recall, when they almost dropped atomic bombs, but we caught them, and that was a spiritual medium. And the US and Russia have a job to reunite Korea back together. And they were about to do this just a few years after Korea became divided. And then I don't know why it stopped. There's some action and movement to reunite Korea, but then it stopped for some reason. So what we have to do is fund a lot of money from rich people and bankers and rich businessmen, and we have to reunite Korea back together for the safety of the Mother Earth and its species, because we're not a human species and that kills each other, and we need to learn that, and we need to love and learn the love of God, because that's the best feeling in the world, and that is the best feeling in the world, sorry to say. And we need to reunite Korea for peace. It's going to help everything spiritually and language-wise and ethically to become more organized and less chaotic and more peaceful. And that's going to generate more income, that's going to generate more business and people, and it's going to just make everyone happier. It's literally, it should pretty much make everyone happier at the moment to reunite Korea again. So I have a really strong passion to keep that action of them trying to reunite Korea again, that law or a treaty. I really hope that I can help stimulate the reunion of North and South Korea at a quicker pace than it would. They said by 2045. And I showed this on my other video prior, and you can see the Korea reunification and how it is expected to reunify by 2045. And it was pretty weird because it's in 2019, South Korea President Moon Jae-in had proposed reunification of the two divided nations in the Korean Peninsula by 2045. And so it seems like Korea got taken over to a certain extent, even within the Asian countries as well, from Japan, from its history. May God forgive everyone for war, and hopefully no more war occurs with the power of God and the love of God, and all this destruction of countries and division of countries stop. And in the name of God Almighty, for the sake of peacefulness, of light and love, that is holy, sacred, divine, and royal. And it's very weird that I made a couple of YouTube, Twitter comments to South Korea and the US and stuff to help try to reunify Korea. And it seems as though they kind of took my message literally, because just in 2009, I just remember now, I didn't say this in my previous video, and they seem to have listened to me, and they actually did this. And once I guess they pay off the unionization, it's going to be back to Korea again by 2045, and that's pretty much what it looks like. I wrote to them exactly in a very simple manner, and they actually did this, so that publicly known. I don't know how public it is, but the two countries, okay, here, in April 2018, I towards a peaceful reunification of Korea in the future. In June, statements of the United States President Donald Trump and North Korea Chairman Kim Jong-un at the Singapore summit in June 2018. So it was pretty much like, it feels as though around the time when I was messaging them in like the summer of last year, hoping that North Korea and South Korea unify and after it pays off its unionization. And yeah, and they seem to have like done that. It's like I was like thinking about it, and they just like did that like right away. And so I really don't know how to quicken this process faster, because once I try to, it kind of exposes like the degree of like chaos and trouble that the Western worlds of like America and Russia caused, I guess, because it's a unionization they have to pay off, and it's going to take till 2045. And I did like the math and just like estimating the average, and that's what I came down to. I'm going to have like an average estimate as well. And to quicken this process is to pay off the unionization faster. And it just completely shows that it's like enslaved by like two countries that have been to war a lot, and like being infiltrated by our own races, like on all levels for ethnicities as well. So it's very tough to deal with. And I'm thinking, like, what if North and South Korea unified this year for New Year's, by New Year's, in 2 months, when weed becomes legal on January 1st, supposedly in Illinois. If like I was to propose an idea to make a document, a statement stating that South Korea and North Korea are going to reunify so that we can like promote world peace more, so that the whole world is more peaceful. But then I realized like it would still have to pay off the unionization, and it would pretty much, most of you guys are correct, that it would still take till 2045 to pay this off. But it seems like a fake makeup cover up to call it Korea while it has a unionization from like the north of Russia and America, and it's clear and evident. And even when you call it Korea, it will kind of sort of be like that because of the two different split unions of the unionization in North Korea and South Korea. North Korea is related to Russia, and South Korea is related to the United States for power. So it would be like a big cover up. But it would be seen as like a cover, like just like an artificial covering of the actual inner workings of Korea, and how it's still paying off the unionization if we were to make it Korea. And that's what we should do. And I guess we should state that we would still pay off the unionization by 2045, but we would call it Korea again, so that we can strictly and specifically, precisely, exactly promote a sense of like country, continental, nationwide peace, as well as promoting that within its ethnic sectors in Asia, as well as promoting world peace on a global scale on Earth's landmass, and helping other countries promote world peace so that their own ethnicities aren't invading other countries of their own ethnicities, or other countries' ethnicities as well. And so we can get this established by creating like sectors and organizations and groups, and sort of like sectors in the UN possibly, to do that and to make sure that ethnic wars do not occur outside within the ethnicity, and especially within the ethnicity of itself. And we would do this to promote world peace. And the thing is, again, what's behind it all? The unionization is still there at 2045 when it would be paid off of the northern side Russian unionization, and the southern unionization of South Korea with America, the United States. And so like, we would be doing a lot of work, and it would just look really bad that they're just like taxing and enslaving us to a certain extent, and sin could occur, sin may occur on both sides, but again, it's to promote world peace. And I guess the unionization fee, the truth should be exposed, and the time at which we can pay off the unionization of the chaos that has occurred will be quickened. As long as we do everything stated in this message, in this video. And I guess the world peace, as long as we do our job with the world peace, the more we keep at it, the quicker at the rate at which we will see the truth of the chaos and the destruction of the unionization that has occurred in North and South Korea, as it's currently divided, and we will be able to pay that off quicker, as long as, again, we work on the world peace and the global peace sectors with the UN, and we need to work on that a lot heavily, so that we can promote world peace and within the ethnic sectors of each ethnicity and other ethnicities as well. Again, so that it's not infiltrating other ethnicities and taking other ethnicities over to unionize within its own human species, involving like manipulation, war, and fear, and physical warfare, mental, emotional, spiritual, astral, etheric, plane, dimensional warfare. And we would like end that and promote world peace, and within the ethnicities as well, just as importantly, for the sake of God. And if I swear to God, if we can keep this and keep this momentum of world peace going, and Korea does hard work, and as I'm Korean, I don't like to state that I'm North Korean or South Korean. I like to state that I'm Korean after I know my history. And so yeah, that's my message in video. I also wanted to expose that they're like looking at my videos, the government's like watching my videos, and they're trying to get like somewhat concerned that I'm like just ranting and rambling or something, and that I'm like acting delusional, when I'm clearly stating that I'm promoting world peace, and that there's pretty much trouble on Earth, and that we're being degenerated by the nanosecond biophysiologically, and from the fossil fuel and the nuclear waste and the chemtrails and stuff. So as I'm currently speaking, we're being degenerated and we're being murdered on a mass scale and diseased from this. And those people need to be held reliable and sent to prison for all this chaos and corruption. And all this manipulation of hurting the innocent instead putting the blame, letting it should take responsibility, and realize that we're being murdered and it's right in front of our face. And it's the fossil fuel, and we need to put those people responsible, accountable, so, in a just manner, in the name of God and in the eye of God, with the truth and clarity of God. And also note that there's a bigger problem, that Adolf Hitler is controlling the space-time continuum, who is Napoleon Bonaparte, and he is causing this situation to occur, and you can somewhat call it like biochemical warfare. I don't like talking about this stuff because then it's related to World War II, and war is bad and war is not good. And so clearly war is not good for me. And so physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually, astrally, etherically, from all parts of the universe, because we're all one in the universe of God's love. And I just want to let you guys know that it seems very sketchy, and I'm in this position with police officers out of their jurisdiction, and they seem to put me in this predicament and situation where I can't seem to get out of my legal troubles because of being like set up. It feels like I'm like caught driving unrevoked, and then it's pretty much like a driving unrevoked. But the thing is, like, the police officers out of the jurisdiction, and they just slapped on a DUI or a DWI. I'm not really sure if it was a DWI. And I was not intoxicated prior to driving or while driving. I did not smoke cannabis while driving or prior to just getting into the car and driving. I was sober, and that's where it's like there's this sense of corruption that makes sense, and I can't really do much about it, but tell you guys this as well. And it's just really tough trying to keep up the positive world peace vibes without a private attorney around like $5,000 or $10,000 that can completely drop this case and dismiss this case and expose that she was out of her jurisdiction and possibly get reimbursed for being beat up in jail, thus being sent to jail. So you can see like they're corrupt and went out of jurisdiction, and then they're sending people to jail, just like messing with people, getting them beat up in jail and drugged and stuff. And maybe I can get compensated for that because, the public defenders don't really care. They just see it as like dog eat dog world. And they really don't seem to show care, or true compassion, empathy, and care, and want to find true justice in this kind of situation where it occurred within my case. And so they messed up, and they just keep messing up even more, and they just keep messing up life even more, it seems like. Especially after October 13th, 2016, you see when everyone should be extinct. And so I just desperately need financial help. And I can make a video, and I can Patreon, or not Patreon, I don't really use Patreon, I use PayPal. And I could try to show proof that I got the lawyer and I got possibly a better suit for court. And pretty much expose all the flaws. She was out of her jurisdiction. That's why there's city jurisdiction borderlines made and created to distinct different jurisdictions. I was not drunk. I was not intoxicated off cannabis. I was sober. The debts. I don't want to plead guilty. I don't want to take the plea bargain, saying that I'll take the plea bargain because I'm not stating that I'm guilty, and I don't want to lie, and I want to speak the truth, and I took an oath under the Constitution. I think everybody did when they're born in the U.S. to speak the truth and speak nothing but the truth and abide by the truth. The truth, not lies or white lies, especially in court. Just anything to not cause death, murder, and unusual, cruel punishments. It's stated in the Bill of Rights in the U.S. Constitution, and I want to find some justice. I still want to find justice for the people that the police officers that came into my garage and wouldn't leave my property, my mom's property, when I told them that I have I know the U.S. Constitution, I know my Bill of Rights. You can't just infiltrate in my home and kind of kidnap me and take me away. Can't you just use sensibility and morals to just talk and be chill and friendly? And I guess they didn't really want to be friendly and compassionate and empathetic. I guess it was really tough for them to just be friendly overall in general with me. And they kind of kidnapped me and drugged me. And they love drugging me. They love dumbing me down. They love numbing me down. They think they're dominant because they're able to do this kind of stuff. And especially to the mass public, especially me. You can clearly see it's been brainwashed, hijacked, and controlled by Hitler, Adolf. With his Nazi bases and his underground Agartha bases, all clearly exposed from these documents and documentaries and pictures leading to Hitler and how the U.S. did naval expeditions looking for Nazi bases in Antarctica and stuff after World War II, and still after World War II. And so there's a lot of chaos controlled by Hitler and Adolf. And he seems to hijack the government and politics and the bankers and businessmen, possibly some holy religious sectors, to control the U.S. government to do this stuff. And everything's exposed. She was out of jurisdiction. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't under the influence of cannabis. And I'm not going to take a plea bargain and not lie and then break my truth and not speak the truth and not abide by the truth when I completely like the U.S.'s patriotic quote of and oath to speak nothing but the truth. And it's just, I see the corruption that's simple. That's why when they said if I take my case to trial, they're worried. He said he was worried that I could end up going to jail. They want to put me in jail for doing that. And so you can see that there's another degree of corruption, and I'm just exposing the different 3 levels of corruption, 4 levels of corruption, and it really shows how careless the judicial system has been. And I just want to shed light on that. And it's just been very scary dealing with this. Having to go to court every day, driving far, going to the city where it's dangerous. Having to go to court every day. Now they want me to be on probation for 2 years, and I can't smoke weed when cannabis is legalized in the Midwest now. in Illinois on January 1st, 2020, in 2 months. And it just feels like, it seems like a big trick, like a scam or a scheme to like, it's like all set up to like dick with me, but I guess, everything happens for a reason, and God is good, and I don't want to like look deeper into that, because I really start thinking it's like a conspiracy all set up and stuff to like just piss me off, just piss off my feelings and emotions, like my being and my character itself in general, given by God. And not like the weed industry just monopolized Illinois, just to legalize it to make money, because I'm in this state where I get about like cannabis business information of like what would happen if a country like the U.S. legalized cannabis, and like my worst fear was like they were gonna use that paper and like that information, and it's like Rockefeller and Rothschild family inspired information to make like a lot of money because they're bankers or trillionaires, and so I obviously for some reason wanted to be like them, but like in a positive way, in a safe way, so there's no like lawsuits and backlash, and literally like as safe as possible, as pure as possible, and like no deaths and harm, with no genetic manipulation from like Monsanto and GMO and artificial chemicals, and fake and artificial chemicals and stuff. And I feel as though like, and then like they used the information and they like back engineered it, and they did my worst fear, which is to just monopolize people for money, to make money within the cannabis industry. And they did that again, specifically to like piss me off. It feels like from like the numbers I've seen online, and now, and clearly like they legalized it in Illinois, those because I sent it from Illinois to Bill Gates' place in Washington, that data and information, because he's affiliated with Rothschild family, and so since the Rothschild family kind of like helped inspire that information, I sent to them, and they did that, and it just all seems to be like set up to like piss me off, and it just doesn't really seem like a dollar. And my worst fear, and the back of my mind, and like the worst fear is that they're going to use that information to go all money crazy, and they're doing that specifically. And so I just gotta know, everyone has to know that they're going to be trying to do that, and so it's going to be they're like over cannabis like enticing people, and just gotta let it be, And I was thinking, and I like created it in like a business infrastructure way, economic way, where it's like sane, safe, and like market business cannabis industry. And I guess they just abused that, and they took it over. And I professionally, if someone gives out that kind of information, I guess I wasn't like backed by any like lawyers or anything. I don't have any like protection with that information. I sent it without any asking for money or anything. They kind of just used that information and like spiraled it and snowballed it to legalize cannabis. And I feel as though I may have an influence to it. So now like Canada legalized cannabis, Mexico legalized cannabis, and I guess if America did legalize cannabis, it would look pretty sketchy, knowing that it legalized it right away and with my information. And so to be a little bit sneakier, I guess like the U.S. and Canada have ties, and Mexico, like the North American continent. And now U.S. Canada's legalized it, and there's word of Mexico trying to legalize it, and then the USA, I guess. And so I guess it would be really sketchy if they legalized it right away in the U.S., because all my information would be like exposed what they're doing, like my worst fears. And it just feels like it just feels like I shouldn't have given that information, but at the same time I just wanted to help people so that everyone can be like getting the medicine and cure like cancer and diseases and like all these medical conditions from all this toxicity in the air and the fossil fuel. And it just feels like I got gypped, in essence. I got scammed. And yeah, it's just very scary. But yeah, Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and if you feel like donating, you can donate. You can help me out to try to get a lawyer and this and expose the truth with a lawyer, because then I feel safer, because the public defenders do not seem to protect you. Whatever just knowledge and intelligence and wisdom they can. Like what I was learned at what happens in court. And it's just very ghetto and I guess sad, being see through now. It's just all very frail. It's been a very bad situation how they've treated me.